We're back in Conway, Pennsylvania, and here sitting in front of us is NS 4001. I missed NS 4001 when it went through Pittsburgh, but luckily they had it sitting outside the turntable at Conway's locomotive shops. NS 4001 and its sister unit, 4000, is one of two engines painted in the Sonic Bonnet paint scheme, referring to the video game character. The units are painted like this because they are the first two AC-44C6M units on NS's roster. Right behind 4001 is another oddball on NS's roster. NS 3452 is an ex-UP snoot nose. Snoot nose units are units with elongated noses, as seen here with 3452. You'll be able to tell the difference with another standard hood unit here in a minute. We're back at the turntable, and this time there's a couple more units to fill the slots. One unit of interest is NS 2100, which is an SW1001. 2100 is an ex-Reading switcher, then Conrail, and then NS owned to work in the shops. Speaking of ex-Conrail, NS 5307 has a great Conrail history, as well as being owned by Penn Central. The unit was also under Conrail as 8123. Hiding amongst the EMDs is a GE unit in the back. As you can see, the unit is in an older NS paint job. While these units aren't rare, they're certainly becoming so. With the new C6M rebuilding program, these units are starting to fade away. While there's still quite a few, they are certainly getting rarer. Our next unit is a visitor from up north, Canadian National 2502. 2502 isn't like your normal Dash 9. Not just because it's of the older variant, but because of the cab. As you can tell, the cab isn't the normal GE cab. This cab is the Canadian-style safety cab with a 4-piece windshield. Both Canadian National and British Columbia Rail, also known as BC Rail, use this cab. Today, Conway looks like it's been taken over by Canadian Power. All these units came in on one train. Our next unit is an ex-CEFX Bluebird, now NS owned because of a power shortage. These units are quite a nice sight on NS right now, but don't get used to them. I've heard rumors that they're going to be rebuilt into the C6Ms with NS specs. Now it's time for the real rail fanning to begin. We're at Rochester, Pennsylvania, and our first train is an eastbound NS intermodal. Our next train is NS 62V. This train crew changes at Conway with 63V. I opened the trunk on the car to get my camera out of the rain. The rain really made the unit start to shine. Our next spot, just outside of Midland, Pennsylvania, is a site that's not too common anymore: old Pennsylvania Railroad position light signals. These signals have stood the test of time, and they still guard the Cleveland line heading towards Conway. The train we wanted to catch here is 63V. This is the same train in my Pittsburgh video with the same power. Our original plan was to head home after 63V, but I got word from my good friend Railfan Owen that 12N had the Virginian and an ex-Central Maine and Quebec AC-44. Now this was something to stay for, so we headed back towards Rochester to try to catch it. Our first train after getting back to Rochester was NS-170 with some good equipment. Our next train was a catch that I wasn't really expecting. NSC-54 had two SD-60Es like normal, but right behind them were two LTEX units, both of them being SD-40-2s. I wasn't even expecting this train to show up. It usually leaves the yard later in the day, but because of extended daylight, I guess they decided to leave early. The two LTEX units were heading back towards Apex, Ohio. Right now these units are being used by the Ohio Central. I have no idea why they were on the NS or in Conway at all, but I'd assume maybe there were some engine issues. Our next train was a loaded covered hopper train. I have no idea what they were hauling or what the symbol was, but I just know they were loaded. There were some Rock Island cars in the mix.
Dude has to get into the yard. That's why you want to I don't like to, but I have to.
It was at this point where I was starting to wonder, where is 12N? Well, little did I know, he was stopped at the signal bridge in New Brighton, Pennsylvania, just a little bit west of Rochester. "12N was doing good speeds all until New Brighton, and then he decided to stop. Because of course he did, and because I was waiting for him. Just to give an idea on how much this train was followed today, there was updates from him all the way back in Toledo. In fact, everyone was tracking him when he left Elkhart. While waiting to see if 12N would leave while we were here, an intermodal train decides to show up. While the Virginian Heritage Unit is somewhat normal around here, the unit that's not really normal is the one behind it. What used to be a Central Maine and Quebec engine with its nice blue and gray paint job is now owned by NS. This unit was not really ever owned by the Central Maine and Quebec. It was really being leased under CEFX, which is why with this deal, Norfolk Southern now owns the unit. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That's all for now. Signing out.